It's time to talk White Sox baseball. Not much is going on, but we're going to have fun, all right? Tommaso's hanging out with us, all right? Let's get to the intro. You guys just want me to say hey-o. Now I'm self-conscious. Now everyone wants me to say the damn word. Hey-yo, welcome into CHGO White Sox, coming to you live from Studio West of our CHGO offices here in the West Loop of Chicago. I'm your host, Sean Anderson, being produced today by Sarah.
Hey-o.
Hey-yo. Now we're just turning into Harry Belafonte. Hey-o. Okay, and this is kinda. Chloe got it. Yeah, everyone's under 30 here, so we're not getting the Harry Belafonte references. Hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. We are in the brand new studio here at CHGO, and if you are a person that missed the house tour yesterday, there is Frank Thomas behind me. You can kind of see the Sox hat peeking out. Frank really can't say hi. And then above me, outside of the frame, is the 2005 team celebrating. So we did not forget about the White Sox when making the mural. It was just more designed to be a three-person set. And here I am.
There's also two Sox bobbleheads behind you as well.
Yes,
so we
also out of frame. But there's a TA one, and then we have the Lance Lynn one, and then we have the White Sox troll.
Oh yeah, and the troll too
as well.
Yeah, so you guys are represented.
We're doing okay.
Yeah.
All right, and I'll get more stuff. I'll bring more of my crap into here. So woohoo, that's what we need. Anyways, hit that thumbs up button. Today we're going to be talking about Jonathan Cannon and Davis Martin. We'll talk about their 2025 season. We'll talk about an article from Scott Merkin. There's pictures from Davis Martin's Instagram. So woohoo, fun stuff here. The White Sox have also hired a first base coach. But first, an apology. I am sorry to, first of all, Kazuma Okamoto. I was corrected by a viewer, Sam, in the chat that said it's like Otani, not Okamoto. So I was saying yesterday Kazuma Okamoto, not Okamoto. So it's Okamoto like Otani. So thank you to Sam for the correction. I was obviously very loud and obnoxious when John Triffin was saying Cuero and not Caro. So if I'm going to do it, you guys feel free to call me out on that. So my bad to Okamoto. And he's right. Sam was right. If we want Japanese players to come here, we have to say their names right. So we're going to try to do that on today's show. We're going to be right about Japanese and Korean names. There is a report that we have to take very seriously. A report that you need to probably hold deep into your heart. It's up there with Jeff Passan. It's up there with Robert Murray. I guess it's a little bit higher than Ken Rosenthal. His reputation has fallen in the past couple of years. Bartolo's, what is it? Coloscopy? No, I don't know how to speak. I'm so stupid. Bartolo's colonoscopy. I'm very stupid. A very, fresh and insider. But when we are talking White Sox baseball, we'll talk Nuggets even if they're fake. But quick White Sox notes from Bartolo's colonoscopy. The Sox are pursuing Kazuma Okamoto, who we talked about already, and that was reported on by Yahoo Japan, so that's why we've talked about it. But since we've talked about Okamoto, Bartolo's colonoscopy is saying that the White Sox have also checked in on Sungmun Song. He is a third baseman for the Kiwoom Heroes. The Kiwoom Heroes has produced Ha-Sung Kim. He was the second baseman for the Padres for a short time there, and he is now left, and he was a Ray last year. Jung-Hoo Lee, he is the outfielder for the San Francisco Giants. And then Ha-Sung Kim, he is the infielder for the Dodgers, made his debut this year. The thing that sticks out that's different from his former teammates, Sungmun Song is 29 years old, where Kim, both Haesung and Haesung and Lee, they were 26 and under. Haesung Kim made his debut with the Dodgers at 26. Jung-Ho Lee made his debut at 25 with the Giants. And then Haesung Kim made his debut at 25 with the Padres. So Song has a bit of an age gap there. And when you do look at his numbers, really nice from 2024 to 2025. You look at everything before that, right outside the pandemic, 2021 to 2023, doesn't really scream guy you want to sign. From 2021 to 2023, a sub 700 OPS. He is a third baseman, so again, you obviously want more pop there from that position. 6 homers in 2021, 13 in 2022, 2023, 5 homers. The Korean game isn't technically based off of hitting home runs like the American game is. And Song has debuted a very good plate discipline. 325 on base percentage to a 263 average in 2023, 39 walks to 38 strikeouts. Something the White Sox would definitely be interested in. But he has taken a growth in the past 2 years. In 142 games in 2024, a 340 batting average, which is around, an 80-point jump from his previous career high, a 409 on-base percentage, and a slugging percentage of 518. Not only is that his first time in his career over 4, but it's over 5. So huge there for Song. And then in 2025, also that's Song hitting 19 homers. That was a career high until this year, where he, in 144 games, hit 26 homers, 37 doubles, 4 triples, a 315 batting average. So the batting average fell off from 340 to 315, but the on-base percentage still strong, 387, and that only fell off about 11 points or so. Actually, I don't know how to do math. That was more, maybe 22 points, 409 to 387. But the slugging percentage obviously grown, as he nearly had 25 homers and 35 doubles and nearly 5 triples, a 530 slugging percentage. So 927 OPS in 2024 for the Kiwoom Heroes, and then a 917 OPS in 2025. We do have Tommaso saying late bloomer in the KBO, took his military service as well. I obviously have done baseline knowledge into him or research into him. I'm not sure if the Sox are going to sign him. We're talking about a report from somebody's doctor exam. So I'm not saying hang a star on this one, but if we are at least talking about Okamoto, the White Sox should be obviously expanding their horizons. They should be looking deeper into the islands off of America. They were very heavy into Cuba, but now we know that they're building their Dominican complex, and they seem to be expanding their horizons away from just Cuba. They really have ignored the Asian markets outside of Eric Fetty in the past 20 years. So them going, and obviously Eric Fetty's American. He was a Korean Cy Young winner over in the KBO. Had one great season and then just came back. But, that's really their only foray into Korean players. He's also not Korean. I don't know why I'm saying that. He played for a Korean team. But getting players that were born in Japan, Korea, have been very scarce for them. Shingo Takatsu and Tadahito Oguchi are the standouts from the White Sox past. But I said this yesterday, you're not going to just walk into the Asian market and sign Murutaka Murakami. You're not going to walk in and just sign Shohei Ohtani. Maybe if you give him the most amount of money, he'd consider it, but we're talking about a fake reality. You need to maybe take a chance on players that people wouldn't. 29 is fairly older, so that's why Song might be overlooked or not be given a larger contract like obviously Murutaka Murakami will be, who's around 25. And then Okamoto is around, I believe Kazuma Okamoto is around 30 as well, 29. So he's around where Song is. But Okamoto playing in a more prestigious league, the Japanese league, the KBO compared to the MPB, or I guess the JPCL. I got to make sure I'm correct, and I don't know the Asian markets like I should. Okamoto is doing it at a bigger level. He also was fantastic for Japan in the World Baseball Classic. He's been able to do it against major league bats before, where, Sung, while he had a great past 2 years with the Kiwoom Heroes, there is that kind of before seasons where maybe he was robbed by military service, and that could be something that I don't know well enough to judge him on. But there are some red flags for not just me, I'm assuming, but I'm assuming this is what, front offices are assuming as well. There's been a ton of talk about Murakami. There's been some talk about Okamoto. There's been more talk about Amai as well. Song is somebody that, I saw a possible fake report, and that was the first introduction to me. And that's, me not knowing ball. That's on me. But if the White Sox do sign him, I don't want to be surprised. So maybe, just maybe, Bartolo's colonoscopy is going to be right. I think the White Sox would be going down the right path if they were signing somebody like Song. They're going into that market and they're trying to make a splash. Okamoto seems like a tough person to maybe win over when you don't have this rich history. Amai's looking for a team that can beat the Dodgers but doesn't have a Japanese teammate. Sounds like the Yankees. And obviously that could all change if he's offered a certain amount of money from any team. Murakami wants to seemingly be on the coast, whether it be Dodgers West Coast or East Coast with the Yankees. It doesn't seem like the White Sox really have a kind of in over there. Song, if he doesn't have the same attention and maybe kind of, what's it called? Pomp and circumstance around him, if the White Sox are able to show genuine interest from an early standpoint and able to get their word out in front of them, maybe we do have a new third baseman. They need to sign somebody. I'm fine if Vargas is the first baseman. I'm fine if Vargas is the third baseman. But right now, they don't have a first baseman if Vargas is playing third base. They don't have a third baseman if Vargas is playing first base. I know some people like Lenin Sosa. I think he's kind of maxed out. I think you saw the 2025 kind of peak for Lenin Sosa. I think that would be his best major league season. I don't think we're going to see better from Lenin. So I'm really for the White Sox moving on for that and getting a better plan at first base. If that was Vargas moving over to first base and Song being the new third baseman, I'm for it. I don't know in depth. I truly learned about this player today. So I don't know in depth what his flexibilities are defensively. It does mention time in the outfield on Baseball Reference. It does mention time at first base for, oh, I'm sorry. That's actually Okamoto or Okamoto. My apologies there. Song. No, that's Ha-Sung Kim. All right, we're getting sloppy. There we go. Here is Sung Mun Song. He played third base 111 games in 2025, 25 at second base, and then in 2024, 97 at third base, and 19 at second base, 32 at first base. So flexibilities at third base, second, and first base, likely not a shortstop, and 6 feet. So, we've put shorter people at first base. He could possibly be a first baseman. So, seem like a corner player for the White Sox, and the White Sox do need a corner. They could also use a second baseman. So if he's able to have flexibility, I think the White Sox would be very interested in this type of player. So that is my brief dive into Sung Mun Song. And if I mispronounced it, call me out. We're going to take a break here on the CHGO White Sox podcast, and we're going to let you know about some of our great sponsors, and we will then talk about Jonathan Cannon and Davis Martin and the fun that the White Sox rotation is having down in Texas. We're going to take a break here on the CHGO White Sox podcast. We want to let you know about our friends over at Sunnyside. Sunnyside Dispensary is here to elevate your football season. Sunnyside is your home for judgment-free shopping. They have a crazy selection of over 100 strains to choose from with easy online ordering and in-store pickup. They have an extremely nice knowledgeable staff that if you're maybe a little bit weary about your first time, you can walk in and get guidance from their staff immediately about their vast selection, so you can have a great first time. Wherever you are in Illinois, Sunnyside has a location for you. They have spots as far south as Champaign and as far north as South Beloit. So stop into the store nearest you for expert guidance from their staff. Head to their website for Bright Buys every day, including 50% off for your first 3 online purchases. Enter promo code HICHGO at checkout to qualify. For returning customers, use code CHGO50. Exclusions apply. Sunnyside Dispensary, Bright Buys every day, only for 21 plus, or Illinois medical card holders. We don't want to be adding these ads in post anymore, so we're going to be real careful what we have to say. We also want to let you know about our friends over at Loyola. We are very excited to be announcing that we will be teaming up with Loyola Basketball. Get ready. CHGO Sports is teaming up with Loyola Basketball Saturday, December 6th at 1:30 p.m. for the Loyola versus Princeton game at the Gentile Arena in Rogers Park. Come out to see and support Loyola basketball. There's joy in Gentile holiday games. It's a perfect family event with an appearance from Santa Claus. There's holiday music, a halftime baby race. There's prizes and more. Sarah is showing this lovely Rambler mascot bobblehead that we have, the Lou Wolf. Technically, I want to make sure that I'm properly saying his name. I don't know if he's technically a Rambler. They are the Ramblers. But the Ramblers have won over 80% of their games in the Gentile Arena since 2021. Miles Rubin is a Chicago native and a Simeon product and is one of the nation's best defenders in the paint, averaging over 3 blocks a game and just set Loyola's record for block shots in a career. Go to ramblerstickets.com. Use code CHGO for $5 off your ticket. Ticket prices set at ticket prices start as low as $15. And look how cute this guy is. How fun this is. This is a bobblehead celebrating their run in 2018 with Porter Moser as their coach, right? And everyone, obviously, RIP to Sister Jean. But yeah, she was obviously made famous during that run. So shout out Loyola. That's it. All right, cool.
I forgot we had to get that in, so I was like, oh.
Did this?
Yeah.
I love a bobblehead.
Well, Loyola was so awesome. They sent us a bunch of free merch and stuff, so I want to make sure we get that in the camera.
Yeah. I mean, really can't go wrong with a bobblehead. And I think we probably need a Southpaw one, but this is a really nice collection. Also, I'm going to put it down before I break it because that head is bobbling. All right. And Ryan in the chat, friend of the show, saying he's better suited for first. So, you know, the Miguel Vargas experience at third base continues. I think the White Sox are desperate enough to say, like, give him a shot. You know, worst case scenarios, they move him off third. But, you know, we'll see. He's 29, so maybe lesser or less fleet-footed than Miguel Vargas. So maybe first is a little bit more natural. So, yeah, we'll see if that report from Bartolo's colonoscopy is correct or not. Unsure. Also sung walk rate very good compared to his K rate. Just drooling over the thought that, you know, since 2024, 10.6 walk rate to a 13.6 K rate, and then 2025, 10.5 walk rate to a 14.9 K rate. Not something that you could typically expect to, like, persist in Major League Baseball. You would assume that, you know, better pitching will expand that difference. But if he's somehow able to keep a 3% difference between his walk rate and K rate, I'd be overjoyed. His former teammate, Jung-Hoo Lee, his first year, he did have a very good season. It was only 158 plate appearances because I think he ran into injuries. But at least with the walk percentage to his K percentage, 6.3 to 8.2. And then 2025, it jumped a little bit, but he also was over a 107 weighted runs created plus, 7.6 walk percent. So he walked a little bit more, but he did strike out a little bit more. But even at 11.5%, that's great. And he obviously had a completely different K rate than what Song is showing. He was a 24-year-old with a 5% K rate and a 10% walk rate. So completely different player. And that's why Jung-Hoo Lee got, at 25 years old, a $100 million plus contract from the Giants, where Song, maybe it's a 3-year deal. I had a baseball reference here one with I think projections, but I don't know if there's an actual number there. Anyways, that's going to do it for the talk here about the Korean possible prospect for the White Sox. Let's get into the report cards for Jonathan Cannon and Davis Martin. We don't have physical report cards here because they're kind of similar. Jonathan Cannon and Davis Martin needed to make more of a name for themselves in 2025. They were finally getting, run at the top of the lineup and rotation. There really wasn't anyone nipping at their heels. Jonathan Cannon coming off 124 innings pitched at the White Sox level or at the major league level. He really had everything in front of him to just take a position and kind of write his name into Sharpie for this rotation, and he struggled. 103 and 2/3 innings pitched. I think most of those were before he ended up getting sent down in late July, or maybe it was more August, but then he pitched 31 and 2/3 innings at AAA. He had a great start in Tampa where he struck out over 10, and he was using his four-seam fastball. I still think that there's something there for Jonathan Cannon, but he didn't show enough, and it's at the point where you can kind of just write him off. I like his four-seam fastball, but even then, you look at the grade that he gets on tjstats.ca. You can follow at tjstats. TJ Stuff Plus on his four-seam fastball, 94, grades out as a 45. He does get a good chase percentage, 31.1%, and the whiff percentage is 24.9%. He gets a great amount of backside spin on it, so I think it's a pitch that he should throw more, but he just doesn't have stuff. And then what he really showed in 2024 was an expansive pitch mix, but really great command. And the command numbers fell down for him. I think he was around a 104 location plus, and I think this year it was around 100. And it kind of shows you with that deflated stuff where he's really not able to get over 95 consistently. When he does throw it into the middle of the zone and he's hittable, he gets hit a ton. 96 stuff plus in 2024. That ticked up to a 97 in 2025, but the location went from a 104 to a 100, and you just saw him get damaged more and more and more. So I'd be interested to see what he could do in 2026, but really what the White Sox did in 2025 is pretty much what they're going to do in 2026. Whoever they can get to pitch that day, they're throwing them on the mound. They have so many options, whether it be Davis Martin, Jonathan Cannon, Sean Burke, Shane Smith, Mason Adams should come back at some point. Tanner McDougal's now on the 40-man roster. You have Kai Bush on the 40-man roster. There's another injured guy that I cannot think of right now. There's the other, Drew Thorpe. And then there's the fringe Jairo Iriarte. He's not really a starter, but was a part of the Cease trade. If you need him to throw 5 innings, and he is a starter at least to start 2026, I wouldn't be shocked to see him. So I think that Cannon has the ability to win a spot back. It's mostly about him being able to show that command. Him being able to show, I think, at least a little bit more strength. It's not impossible to see velocity jumps. It's not out of the realm of possibility to see that 93.8 velocity four-seamer go to maybe like a 95 on average. If he was able to just show a little bit more starting pitcher fortitude on the mound, maybe Jonathan Cannon can make it work. But I just don't think it's going to happen. ERA 5.82 this year. The FIP wasn't that much kinder, 5.13. Ugly numbers. The 18.5 K rate to the 8.5 walk percent, that's workable. It's just not enough. And I don't think he has a sweeper, or he has a pitch that really does it for him. There's nobody swinging at his cutter. 20.8% chase rate. The whiff percent's okay at 26.4%, but the sinker gets no whiffs at all. The changeup is pretty much a useless pitch. Doesn't really get any swing and miss like you want a changeup to get, especially for being a pitch that he uses 15% of the time to righties and then 27% of the time to lefties. He doesn't have a pitch that he can go to, where Davis Martin, on the other hand, he has that changeup that's extremely fascinating. He really started throwing it in 2024 when they went to San Francisco, and it continued to show and grade out as a fantastic pitch. Again, using TJ Stats, TJ Stuff Plus number, Davis Martin's changeup grades out as a 108 grade or stuff plus pitch, a 68 grade on the 20 to 80 grade scale. Like, he has a thing for him where, Martin, they'll take any arm. I could see him being able to be worked into the pen if they really needed that, but like, he's at least in a way better spot or way better shape than Cannon is. You can at least see how Davis Martin can make it work on the mound. He's going to throw fastballs high in the zone, and he's going to try to throw the changeup to induce strikeouts. And the other thing too, like, he doesn't get that much whiff percentage. It's just the fact that he's able to hit the zone with it. 31.4% chase rate, a 18.2% whiff rate. The zone percentage, though, is around 43.5%, which is very high for a changeup. So he's really able to control that near the bottom of the zone. It's a very good pitch. Him throwing that 24% of the time, I wonder if the Sox take maybe a page from the Red Sox playbook and they just have him throw his best pitch most of the time. Teams are so ready and wound up for fastballs these days. The White Sox kind of showed the success that you can have if you're locked in on fastballs in the second half of the season. If Martin's able to maybe just throw that wicked pitch a little bit more, and with the zone percentage he does have, if he's able to pick the bottom of the zone, I think he would be able to kind of show the lesser stuff off more. He does have a slider that grades out well. I don't know if this is a pitch that he should throw more, but a 106 stuff plus on a slider, I mean, that seems like something that you should throw more. Not necessarily sure why he steps away from it. He does use his cutter a little bit more, 23.1% of the time, but his sinker isn't that good. His curveball is, grades out well, but I don't know if it's a decent pitch. I think throwing something horizontal that moves and breaks a little bit more could play into Davis Martin's repertoire a little bit more. So if I had to give you a prediction right now of the starting rotation, Shane Smith's likely your opening day starter. I think Martin's pretty locked in at 2 because he's just consistent. Obviously had the Tommy John, but in 142 innings, they didn't turn him away. They didn't send him down AAA. A 4.64 FIP isn't great, but he should be able to give you about 6 innings each and every night. So I think Martin was probably like the second guy technically out of the rotation. I think there's going to be a third starter signed in some shape or fashion. We really haven't heard that market develop much. I don't know who that player would be. I'm fine if it's Jose Quintana. I think it'll be somebody under $8 million, so somebody cheap and likely old. But, in the Martin Perez vein, I think Sean Burke it'd be very odd for them to abandon him. He was their opening day starter last year. I think it would be pretty remiss or short-sighted for them to completely abandon Burke. So I would assume he's either at the 4th or 5th spot. Then it really depends on, do you trust Tanner McDougal? You added him to the 40-man roster. He is an older player, was drafted in 2020. I think McDougal's now 25, so it's not like the craziest thing to just kind of have him bump up from AA to he's only 22, from AA to the majors. But being 6'5", Beef Loaf and Sleepy Harold just talked recently about how he finally seemingly unlocked his offseason routine, and that's what led to this great 2025 season. But, I mean, dude strikes out 10.2 to 2.7 as a starter in the minors. Like, I think it's very well worth going down that road to seeing if Tanner McDougal is good enough, because, maybe you do waste an option, but also you might have found your next guy. He's always been graded out as a high spin rate guy, a guy that, with his big frame should be able to be a starting pitcher. He seems more of a horse, unlike Jonathan Cannon is. Martin has a skinnier, kind of slender frame, similar to Cannon, but Martin's been able to at least replicate his success more often than Cannon has. I would assume it's down to Cannon and McDougal for that 5th spot. Maybe it's Thorpe as well. I know that was the name I immediately forgot, but give him time to work back, I would assume. I think he also had a delayed surgery. I don't think Drew immediately got his surgery. I think they were trying to figure out like what he actually had. No, he wouldn't. I'm just making stuff up. He underwent surgery in March. So, and it was Tommy John. So maybe he's ready for opening day, but I don't think that there's like a need to push Thorpe into that position. So, like if we see Thorpe in May, maybe we see Thorpe in May. We're going to take a break here on the CHGO White Sox podcast. We're going to talk about the first base coach that the White Sox just hired. Sox Machine has been doing a great job covering the White Sox hiring, and they finally have filled out their coaching staff. So we'll tell you about the White Sox next first base coach right after the break. We want to let you know about our friends over at Brunt. We still don't have the boots. We do have the boots, but they're over there. We have 2 pairs of boots on Studio A, but we don't have any boots in West.
I'm not running over there.
I know you're not going to run over there. We keep doing the ads, and every time we're doing the ads, I'm like,
but we do have them.
Got the boots. We do have them. They're on display right now during the Bulls show. Very much so. You could just tune in, and they're right behind Matt Peck's head. They're beautiful boots. Brunt's best-selling Marin work boots are not only built for the toughest job sites, they're completely waterproof. Whether it's rain, mud, or standing water, your feet stay dry. And the best part about these boots is you're not sacrificing comfort or durability. Brunt thought that was BS, so they built tough boots that feel great from day one. There's no break-in, no sore feet, because the people that are out there doing the real work shouldn't have to choose between comfort and durability. And we have tested them. The day that they sent them was the day it snowed or had like 5 inches of lake effect snow. And we were able to put our Brunt boots on, walk a mile around the West Loop, and those boots stayed bone dry. All right. So this is not only a fantastic choice for your next workwear, but if you are looking to buy a gift for somebody that does have a hard-working job, check out Brunt boots. With the temperatures dropping and the holidays coming up, it's time to treat yourself or the hardworking man in your life to real comfort. Skip the throwaway gifts and get him something built to last. Brunt Workwear. Our listeners get $10 off their entire order with code CHGO at checkout. That's bruntworkwear.com and use code CHGO. Order today and let them know you heard it here on the show. We also want to let you know about our friends over at Mando. My deodorant, my go-to deodorant is Mando. It's natural. It's 100% natural and organic. It's a fragrant. Oh, no, that's what I don't. What? Why would they say that? Okay. They put all the don't say things first. My bad.
Yeah.
Hi. Mando is clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor up to 72 hours. It was created by a doctor who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. It's a whole body deodorant that's safe to use anywhere on your body. Pits, balls, thigh folds, belly buttons, butt cracks, and feet, wherever. It will keep you covered. And Mando has worked for me. 12 hours of protection. It's better than just, taking a shower, which is obvious, but you put on Mando and you're covered for the entire day. I love the Cloverwood scent. It smells fantastic. Reminds me of my home in Ireland.
You have a home in Ireland?
No, but you look like you wanted to chime in.
No.
Mando Starter Pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, my favorite, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. And as a special offer for listeners, new customers get 20% off site-wide with our exclusive code. Use code CHGO at ShopMando for 20% off site-wide and free shipping. That's shopmando.com. And please support our show and tell them we sent you. Back here on the CHGO White Sox podcast, give that video a like Ryan is saying. Ryan does say ultimately see Cannon in the long relief role. I don't know if he's good enough. In a way, I think that there's a decent amount of options. I think that just kind of is Mike Vassell, or some form of that. Like Vassell threw 100 innings, and I was gonna look this up, and I haven't looked it up. Are the White Sox the first team ever to get 2 Rule 5 players to pitch 100 innings for them in a season?
Yeah.
You're confident?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either.
You'd know more than I would.
But it seems like we could do that. I think that I know Shane Smith and Mike Vassell threw 100 innings. I don't know any other Rule 5 players that threw 100 innings, so we're just going to accept it as the truth here. Also, what's the truth? We're going to flash this and just let you know. We have the Black Friday sale going on. There is currently early access right now for diehards. Head over to ALLCITY Store. I always screw this up, and that's my fault. ALLCITY store.allcitynetwork.com. I should really know my own sites. store.allcitynetwork.com. You could check out the up to 90% savings on some of the Black Friday merch that we do have over there. The sale will be live for folks starting on Friday. But if you are a diehard, you could take access or take advantage of the early access over there. You see the CHGO little circle logo in the t-shirt there. I got the hoodie on. So look at that. Boom. Cool. Check that out and support what we have going on here at CHGO. The White Sox have hired a first base coach. I do see Tommaso's question in the chat, so we'll get to that a little bit later. If you do have any questions, hit them up in the chat. I'll let you know about the new first base coach, and then we will meander over to the chat and answer your questions. This is from James Fegan over at Sox Machine. Make sure you are doing your best to support Sox Machine and the work that James, Jim, and Josh are doing over at SoxMachine.com. Look, Josh gave me the sticker. James reported that the White Sox have named José Leger as their new first base coach. Again, today is the show of pronunciations. If I am pronunciating his name wrong, which I likely am, my bad. I usually don't see Hispanic names with an ER at the end. So José Leger, but it doesn't. That sounds a little bit too French for me. I don't know. That's throwing off my Spanish, my very, 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 very basic Spanish that I know. But Jose is 43 years old, a native of San Domingo, and not only does he have extensive Lidom dugout experience, he did manage in Double-A for both the Mets and Cardinals. And when I was looking at his baseball reference, like, it's an expansive amount of games. It's nothing crazy. I think his overall career win percentage is around 50%, but it's more that he's at 43 been coaching pretty much his entire life. Like, he played about 2 or 3 years when he was 20 or 21. And then right after that, he got into coaching. And as James notes, was in the Mets and Cardinal system before shifting to an assistant field and base running coordinator for St. Louis this past season. But in Double-A, managed Double-A Springfield for 4 years. And, nothing crazy stat-wise. But I think he had 2 years that were above 500, like 78 and 60 something. So, a guy that knows baseball, played both JUCO and Division II, was signed by the Twins as an undrafted free agent. Again, only 2 minor league seasons for him, but he'll be replacing Jason Bourgeois, who had oversight over the base running and outfield during Bourgeois' 2 seasons with the Sox. Leger, and I really apologize, Jose should likely just pick up where Bourgeois left. So not only base running and obviously telling guys what to do at first base, but working with the outfielders, maybe teaching Andrew Benintendi how to get back to his Gold Glove ways, maybe guiding Braden Montgomery into stardom in right field, or helping Luis Robert Jr. stay healthy, whatever that is. But that's the White Sox finalizing their entire coaching staff. And I think the biggest takeaway from them finalizing this coaching staff is they're not afraid of guys with that long journey. We've talked about Bourgeois and him having Major League Baseball experience, Timms, who had Major League Baseball experience. Katz didn't, but even the catching coaches like Butera, Venable, obviously, Major League Baseball experience, like personal experience playing at the Major League level. What we've seen in Showman, what we've seen in Zach Bove, what we've learned with even Jose here, they're not afraid of that JUCO level, D2, D3, undrafted, outskirts guys. The first kind of cycle of Major League players, and I don't know if that's just directly because of Chris Getz, also Grady Sizemore, Chris Getz playing in Major League Baseball, but we are now seeing a broaden of their horizons and seemingly looking for maybe the best coaches and the guys that do the best with relating to players on a one-to-one level rather than maybe that greater past professional experience. All right, let's get into your questions here in the chat, and then we will wrap up this show. We will have a show tomorrow. It will be remote. I do believe Jared Willis will join us for a little bit on that show. So we will talk to Jared tomorrow. But we do have a question from Tommaso. How many innings for Taylor next year? Hope they start stretching him out. Chris Getz said multi-innings. The big thing that we want to see with Taylor is an expansion of pitches, because he really, blew everyone away with his amazing fastballs. Whether it was the four-seam variety or the cutter, he was just blowing up radar guns. He threw the highest clocked pitch for the White Sox at 102. I think it was like the 15th highest pitch, because like Mason Miller got up to 104. But Taylor flashed phenomenal stuff. TJ Stuff Plus for his four-seam fastball of 115, threw that 55% of the time. His cutter, he threw 16.6% of the time, 109 TJ Stuff Plus. So that's right there, nearly 80% fastballs between his cutter and four-seam fastball. But the curveball and slider grayed out phenomenally. And I don't really know why he doesn't use those pitches more. There's a little bit of an issue, especially with the slider, on hitting the zone, 35.9% zone rate. But the Stuff Plus is absurd. 124 Stuff Plus. It's a 70 grade pitch. He has 4 pitches that grade out at a 70 or higher. 73 grade on his four-seam, 75 on his curveball, 68 on his cutter, which is 2 away from a 70 grade, and then the slider is a 77. We'll round up on this show. We don't have many White Sox hitting these numbers. The main thing is that slider really isn't hitting the zone, and then the curveball specifically, he does get good whiff on it, but he doesn't get a ton of chase. There is a decent amount of zone percentage at 55.3%, but there isn't a ton of chase at 28.8%. He doesn't have exactly what they... Yeah, buddy, we do. All right, we'll address it again.
I was going to say, it's just not in frame. Let me zoom out.
For the third time we've done this, we did include White Sox into the background. But Grant needs to show more than his four-seam fastball. All right, we're going to wrap up the show. Here's Frank Thomas. I am sitting in front of him, so that's why he's not shown. Here's the 2005 White Sox. Not shown because, again, this is designed to be a 3-person set, and if we're doing the math, we're 2 down. So we do have...
Look how tiny your head
Sox
is.
in here. Yeah, I mean, like, here's me standing up.
It's a very large backdrop.
It is.
And it's made out of solid wood.
And, we have the Sox right here.
And yeah, it's
they're
a little...
in the middle of it.
It's a little hard to represent it when there's one person.
Yeah, and then he's still out of the frame in a way, but Frank is just blocked by me. So that's the main thing. So we did think about the White Sox. You think I would let them put this up with no White Sox? Come on, I wouldn't be doing my job. So no, we didn't forget about the White Sox. And this is very much like in the 80s when people used to count the characters in the White Sox articles compared to the Cubs articles, okay? We don't be checking here. All right, we're CHGO. We love the White Sox. I still get to do my show. We have Frank down here. If you want to, argue about the design and maybe the White Sox should have been the only thing on here, I'd hear that out. But yeah, no, it was it was just a little bit poorly framed. All right, but there is the White Sox on this background.
And there's also, as we mentioned at the top of the show, he wasn't here earlier though, but that's okay. There are 3 White Sox bobbleheads as well on the set on the left. So everyone's included. Yeah.
What does 61 years old make it? What does 61 years old have to do anything with it?
I don't know.
Just letting you know. Like, we got the Sox here. Anyways, we're going to wrap it up here on the CHGO White Sox podcast. Ryan with the fair criticism. No Chicago Dogs representation. So that's fair. We get Cam Boozer up here. And Jared chiming in smartly. Hey, what's up, everybody? They should put the White Sox on that wall. I agree with you. And hey, if we do want to count, you would be right in your counting. That's 3 or that's 1 for the Cubs, right? You got Santo in the corner and you got Ernie here. So that's 3. you do have Harry. I think most people would count that as a Cub thing, but he technically broadcasted for the Sox, so that's kind of, a tie there. But if you count it, it's either 4 if you're including Harry, Cubs, and to 3 Sox, including Harry, or it's 3 Cubs, not including Harry, to 2 Sox, not including Harry. So it's not even. It's not even. All right. So that's it. That's going to do it for the CHGO White Sox podcast. I'm going to sit down. We're going to stop standing up and shooting it this way because it looks terrible and ugly. And Santo technically was a Sox as well. He hated it. And then he also quit baseball because of how much he hated it. But technically, Santo also a Sox. That's going to do it for the CHGO White Sox podcast. Love every one of you, especially Jared. That one was funny. Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to Tommaso. Shout out to Goop. Shout out to TS. And I think there's other people. Shout out to Sarah for producing the show. Shout out to Eric /Airbud, the Airbud Nick fan. And shout out to Sam as well and KJ Russ. Shout out to Sam for correcting my Okamoto pronunciation. Not Okamoto. Kazuma Okamoto. We'll talk about Okamoto and much else tomorrow on the CHGO White Sox podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.